Huskers football gets a commitment from a wide receiver. Now, you remember Satterfield on Friday talked about how he felt like they could boost the wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't want guys that
wants to.
Yeah, he wants to. He doesn't want guys that look the same. And they go out and get Virginia transfer Billy Kemp, the fourth.
They needed Billy Kemp because the wide receiver room isn't all that stock. You lose Trey Palmer, who had 71 catches for 1,443 yards and 9 TDs. Okay, so what you got? Your leading returning receivers, Marcus Washington, 6'2", 190, 31 catches, 471 yards. Good, right?
Yeah.
After that, Alante Brown, 16 catches, 191 yards, 0 TDs. Nobody would identify Alante Brown as your number one receiver, right?
No. Yeah.
He's number two, though. And then after that, no returning receiver with over 7 catches. Okay. You not only need to add Billy Kemp to your receiver room, you need to add some more from the portal. Now, they did add Joshua Fleeks, too.
Yep, they did on signing day.
Yeah, from Baylor. So they've added 2. I think you need 1 or 2 more.
Which is
probably
interesting
2.
because you look at the entire roster SIP and their scholarship number, they're going to have to find some room.
Yeah,
in the long run.
Please don't get hung up on that.
We're not. I'm not hung up. Hung up's no. I'm not getting hung up on it.
People dwell on that way,
but it's an interesting kind of angle in my eyes.
Somewhat.
I mean, let's be honest.
They're like saying everybody
right
talks
now
about that. What are they going to do with the scholarship number? Why do you worry about it?
Well, it's not that we're worried about it. It's interesting to think about.
Not
where
that
they
interesting.
I see that, and maybe that's where you and I differ.
Yeah, we differ on that.
We differ. We agree.
They're going to have to cut a few guys.
We're looking at if good news comes from offensive linemen in the next 48 hours, then you're looking at cutting close to 10 guys.
Well, some of those guys matriculate on their own.
And that's true.
There's injuries.
And some of those guys could already be gone.
Right.
And so we don't know that publicly.
Right. Some of those
guys. But as of right now.
You know what you do? Some of those guys, you just move to NIL deals.
I suppose so.
Yeah. I mean, they're still effectively on scholarship. You can just quietly move them to
in a roundabout way.
Yeah, that's why I do not get into that. Okay. Sorry. This guy, Billy Kemp. Billy Kemp. I mean, he did do a lot. Now, this is 1 year. He got 1 year. He's a graduate from Virginia. He ranks 4th on the Cavaliers' career reception list with 192 catches and 10th all-time in receiving yards with 1,774. The last 2 years, Nebraska's been led in receiving by players out of the portal. One and done. Well, Samare Toure in 2021 was a one and done. Palmer could have come back, but he's done. Is this going to be the 3rd straight season where Nebraska is led by a receiver out of the portal? Is Kemp that type of receiver?
I'm not sure. I would be inclined to say, well, okay, can I put a little bit of a caveat in there? It depends on the starting quarterback.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I think if Jeff Sims ends up being the starter, a guy 6'4", 220 pounds, which is a guy that feels like it can do what this staff wants him to do, right? And if I had to put my money on, if I was a betting man, I would say Jeff Sims starts.
Whoa. Okay, we'll have that discussion tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah.
I would bet on Casey, but go ahead.
Okay, interesting. Well, either way, I would say Billy Kemp is the guy. However,
why does it matter?
Because I think then you look at the other side of things. And if Casey Thompson is the starting quarterback, he has that chemistry built with Marcus Washington, and you just said it. He's their best statistical returning receiver. Now, you bring in a guy like Billy Kemp, who, like you said, is fourth all-time in career receptions with Cavaliers, 192 catches, 10th all-time in receiving yards. I get that. Does that automatically transfer over to Nebraska?
I don't know. That's the question. I don't know if he'll be their number one receiver.
Also, how active is Josh Fleeks?
I don't know. If these guys are here for a reason, they're going to play a lot, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you could call me out on that. That's an obvious. They're no duh, Sip. This guy Billy Kemp is going to play, probably start.
I would assume so. He's instantly one of your oldest guys, not only on your in your wide receiver room, on your roster.
Yeah.
This is a team as of right now where you only have 15 seniors or upperclassmen, quote unquote, on scholarship.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is a team compiled of 22 true freshmen, 11 redshirt freshmen, and 23 sophomores.
It's a lot of sophomores. 5'9", 172. So you have 6'2" Marcus Washington, 5'11" Alante Brown, 5'9" Billy Kemp, 5'9" Brody Belt, Wyatt Lever's in that 6'2" range. I'm just thinking about the bodies. The other thing about Billy Kemp is he had 64 attempted punt returns at UVA, and also fair caught 76 punts. He was their punt returner for 4 years. So your punt returner from last year is gone, Trey Palmer.
I suppose so.
So this might be your punt returner too. Your kickoff returner from last year, Tommy Hill, is back, but this guy can return kickoffs too.
And Tommy Hill's now in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So again, pretty big. I mean, I'd say significant development last night. He announced it, I think, at halftime of the game.
Agree. Yep.
And that took care of my second half. I didn't watch the second half because I was working on this story.
Whether you were working on a story or going to bed, you didn't need to watch the second half.
You really didn't, did you?
No. How sad is that? Sad. Like people were leaving sports bars at halftime because they just didn't care.
Well, the game was over.
It was over.
I don't know if they didn't care, but the game was over. So today, Micah Mazuka rhymes with bazooka.
Doesn't look like it if you look at how it's spelled, though.
No.
Because it looks like it should be pronounced Maskua.
The Baylor guard, Micah Mazuka, will make his announcement on where he intends to play at 7 p.m. Central Time. He's choosing Micah Mazuka between Auburn, Nebraska, and Florida. He visited Auburn before Nebraska and then wrapped up the weekend in Gainesville. So Auburn, Nebraska. I don't know if he was at Nebraska kind of like Thursday.
Yeah, he was during a weekday.
During a weekday, and then went to Florida. Mazuka played 780 snaps at left guard this past season at Baylor, and at one point was graded as the number 6 left guard in the country by Pro Football Focus. Mazuka would come in and at the very least challenge for a guard spot.
Yeah.
Probably the left guard. Now, Nori Nuili's in that conversation. Henry Latovsky's in that conversation. You could put Turner Corcoran in that conversation. Corcoran started last season at guard, moved to tackle. This would be a gigantic development, and not because Mazuka's 6'5", 331 pounds. Automatically, almost you put him in your top 7 linemen, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Now this could be a double barrel Tuesday. It could be because Nebraska might get Walter Rouse too today.
The Stanford,
the Stanford
transfer. Yep.
Yeah, the Stanford tackle Walter Rouse told Sean Callahan last night of Husker Online that he will announce his decision either today or tomorrow. So we're kind of hostage there. We'll see on that one. Walter Rouse is deciding between Oklahoma, Iowa, and Nebraska. Man, think about
that top 3 there.
Think about that, and think about today if Nebraska were to pick up 2 linemen that would be projected to be starters.
Well, that's why what makes these so much more monumental gets if they're able to garner the commitment. Because these are guys that has started 39 games for Stanford.
Yeah, Walter Rouse.
And as you mentioned, was graded highly from Pro Football Focus.
No, that was Micah Mazuka.
From Micah Mazuka, yeah. But also Micah Mazuka allowed just 1 sack, 2 hits on the quarterback, and 11 total pressures on the year as a pass protector. However, he rated higher as a run blocker.
Yeah. He's Mazuka and Rouse, you almost just say they're going to be starters if they commit here, which, by the way, youngster, is one of the Sportster is one of the biggest Sportster. You're a young Sportster. Is one of the big reasons why they may be coming here. NIL, by the way, helps. And think about these developments for Donovan Raiola. Already got Ben Scott from ASU, who you probably just plug into your starting center.
I was going to say you pencil him as the center.
Now think about this: if Walter Rouse picks Nebraska today or tomorrow, Micah Mazuka picks him. Ben Scott's already picked Nebraska, starting center at ASU last year. You could have. We might be looking at 3 different starting offensive linemen at Nebraska in 2023.
Yeah.
Huge news.
I think it's big. Also, I think what you said just a couple moments ago is also big. The additions for Donovan Raiola, right? Because we know how fans felt about Donovan Raiola being retained. Just instantly wrote it off as what the hell is Matt Rule doing? Did you see the offensive line last year?
A lot of people did.
A lot of people did. And once again, we'll see what the play. It goes back to the conversation we had yesterday. You can't do anything about it on January 9th, but take what we've seen in the offseason from Donovan Raiola. And we've seen the changes, right?
Right.
And you go out, you're able to get Ben Scott, who is from Dominic Raiola's high school. You also get from Dominic Raiola's high school, right?
Well, no, wait a second. No, they went to different. Oh, yeah.
In Hawaii,
you're right.
In Hawaii.
Yeah, I think.
And then
whatever. Yeah.
Either way. So. And now you're targeting Micah Mazuka and Walter Rouse.
Right.
Both too experienced. These aren't guys that, and this is no knock against other guys on Nebraska's roster. This is not guys that were backups at top tier programs.
No,
these were starters at the Power 5 level.
These guys excelled as starters
for multiple years.